Yep, I just checked it. It was good.
Yep, this is good. All right. There's a delay, but we are starting. Now you're coming over here for what? I don't want you.
Yeah, it's got a notification. I think we are live. Even though it's still saying waiting on the screen now.
Yeah.
There we go. Here we're coming. We're there.
We're here. We're there. We're everywhere. What's going on, everybody? This is Travis. Welcome back to Overdose Vapes. This is Obese Mode Live. I still get a tickle out of that name. Obese Mode. I think it's hilarious. And yeah, we're live. So welcome back. As you can see, we have a special guest. It is Kimmy Vapes, star of stage and screen. You might know her from her popular syndicated radio show. I know, I'm just joking. She's a YouTuber like the rest of us, and she decided to join us. So we'll teach her a lesson for that. And we're gonna have fun. So we're gonna talk some mess, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So first, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. We have Zach Johnson, Monty Marino. Sometimes I kind of feel like, remember that old show Romper Room? I see Zach Johnson and Monty Marino and Mad Dog Vapes and James but yeah, what's going on, everybody? Naki, James Capozzi, Kenny B, my brother Kenny B, the Wolf. That's what's up. That's intimidating. Vaping Swag, what's going on, brother? Stevie J. What's up, Stevie J? Smoke 42 Vape, my people. John Mueller, what's up? And Stand Up 3D, what's up, dog?
Jesse, what's up, brother?
And yeah, and the rest. And the rest. We got lots of people. And people will be streaming in, I'm sure. Ashley Brown, what's going on? Hello, good to see all of you. It's Sunday. That means it's time for this last roundup show of the week, and we're going to go back to work tomorrow, and life is going to be hell. But for tonight, we're going to have fun. So, Mitch Green, what's going on? Long time no see, Mitch Green. It's been a while. I was just talking about you on the last show where we showed a bunch of coils from all you guys, including you. So, yeah.
That's what I'm running in here. I've been running this one since I got this what the hell, the Drop Solo. I've had this Mitch Green single coil in here now for months.
Are you rocking the Drop Solo on the top side?
Yes.
Me too.
Gunmetal top side.
We're brothers. I just have the silver one.
Yeah, well, the silver drop. No, well, you got the black drop side doing silver, silver Drop Solo.
The black drop side. I like that.
Top side.
They should have named it the drop side if it was, if it wasn't for Dovebo getting in the way. They could have named it the drop side. Anyway, Saturation Station, what's going on? The white guy, that white guy, what's going on?
That white guy, that's my boy.
TWG.
TWG. And as you can see, besides Kimmy Vapes, we also have Daytime Frank, who's nice enough to come and hang out with us. He's also hosting the stream tonight, so I really appreciate that. He lets us use his Zoom room, which I'm just too goddamn cheap to spring for myself. So I rely on the kindness of people like Frank who do the right thing.
Yeah, it's the only reason why I get invited on anyway. The kid with the best toys gets to play with everybody else.
Yeah, we have find another reason to bring you on. Sin In is here. What's going on, Sin In? Yeah, all kinds of people. Nice. Good to see you guys. And of course, we have Panda Vapes is the best. I think you added that is the best part in there at the end.
Yeah, that was there. It knew.
It automatically sensed you. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And as you can see, I'm drinking from a mason jar, which affirms my white trash status for all watching, with a straw. So that's how you know I'm.
With like one of them peppermint straws, did you like steal that out of a Starbucks?
I'm just really big, and this is actually no. This is a barber pole. I'm just fucking huge, and this is a legit barber. Dear God, girl, look at that cup.
A mason jar does not hold enough for me, so I had to go with the Big Bubba and camouflage.
Yeah, you can only buy them at like the Pilot or the Flying J.
Straight up out white trashed me with her Big Bubba camouflage edition. Oh my God.
We were actually talking about your background setup, Kimmy. We were admiring it.
We paused one of your videos.
Totally steal it.
Yeah, we're pausing your videos and we're like, okay, how can we take this and steal it and make it our own? So, yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to that.
Yeah, I was actually last night looking at furniture to change it up again. I want to get a different shelf. I actually want to move my whole vape layer and do a corner view. Like I want to rip off Suck My Mod and Grim Green. I like their camera angle better, the way it goes to the leading lines. Any of the photography, videography people out there, they'll understand what I'm geeking out about. But there's something that's very aesthetically pleasing about leading lines and having that corner angle instead of a flat wall behind you.
Yeah.
Yep. So, absolutely.
Maybe in 2019 we'll see a little change there.
Now, is that right behind you? Is that a tapestry, a sheet, or is that actual wall? It's a tapestry sheet kind of thing.
That's a tapestry. Yeah, okay. It's a tapestry hung up.
Yeah,
but now I'm changing my mind because
ours like unisex because of my second channel. So
I want to change my mind though. I think she's right about the leading lines. I like that idea.
How would we do that though in our?
We could figure it out. We don't have a lot of space, but we could.
We would have to move the computers around.
Yeah, we could definitely do it though.
Yep.
All right, enough nerdy stuff. People don't care about that at all. So moving on. What's everybody vaping on tonight? And I wanted to answer a question, Monty Marino. No, I have not announced the winner of the giveaway. I promise. There's something in the works. There's a reason why I have not announced those winners. But trust me, when I do, it's going to be worth it. So just be patient, my babies. Be patient. And Cheryl LeBoy wants to know, Kimmy, are you going to do any more videos with Zophie?
I was actually just messaging her. Yeah, I talked to Zophie last week. We talked about in 2019 because holidays are coming up. She's going to be traveling back home to Florida. She's going to be going to visit her family as well as Wendy Vapes. So when she gets back into Georgia, probably 2019, we're going to try to plan to get together, maybe once a month or something and do something. She's got a lot of really great creative ideas. So hopefully we'll be doing some things together in 2019.
There you go.
Nice.
Excellent. Good to know. Okay. What's everybody vaping on now, though? We'll start with our guest. Kimmy Vapes, what are you vaping on right now?
Okay, I gotta. Yep, let me I'm vaping a lot of sub-ohm tanks lately. So right now I'm rocking the Watofo Flow Pro sub-ohm tank on top of the Asmodus Colossal 80-watt mod. In that, I've got some Adore E-Liquid Pecan Sequence. I always say that wrong, but that's what I'm vaping in that. Then I've got the new Desire Design Cut Premium with the Desire Design Bulldog sub-ohm tank. In that, I am vaping the Pumpkin, which, who is this made by again? Guardian Angel Vapor. Tastes to me like a pumpkin. It's supposed to be like a cream cheese frosting covered pumpkin cupcake. To me, it's a little more pastry than cream cheese, but I'm really enjoying that. And then I'm also rocking the iStick Noah's kit with the Eladuro sub-ohm tank. In that, I have Adore E-Liquid Banana Bondage. And then I'm also rocking the Asmodus Lustro with the Dog RTA on top. And I've also got Adore E-Liquid Banana Bondage in there. There you go. That's my buffet. That's what I'm vaping.
Don't feel bad about the Consequence thing. It literally took me 3 or 4 months before I even realized that was a thing. I kept just saying pecan sequence. And everybody's like, pronounce consequence. And I'm like, I had like an epiphany. I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
I didn't even know that.
No, we're idiots, so don't have to worry about us. Yeah, a lot of sub-ohm tanks. A lot of stuff I've never even heard of in that list of madness.
Yeah, a lot of, I tell you, like they're killing it in the sub-ohm tanks lately. A lot of companies have finally found what works. And they're creating some good sub-ohm tanks.
The only thing about sub-ohm tanks I'm not a fan of, and it's the same reason why I'm fucking buying a mouth-to-lung tank RTA instead of pods, is because I hate buying aftermarket products for my vapes, like for coils. Yep. It just eats up my money so much. I just can't do it. A lot of times, I'll buy. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm on about a 15-second delay, so I'll interrupt people.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it's like once you go rebuildable and you have that cost savings, going back to sub-ohm, your brain just cannot rationalize spending, you know, $15 for a pack of coils when you can get a whole bunch of pre-made, you know, or make them yourself coils for cents.
Yeah.
You know, a couple dollars.
When we get like sub-ohm tanks for review, like when me or Panic both get like sub-ohm tanks for review, even if we like it, we'll use it to the coils that came with it are gone, and then it gets put in the shelf, and we literally never use it again. Even if it's amazing and we think it's great, it's just like it's so hard to justify. Okay, like especially newer ones, it's like what, $15 for a 5-pack?
Online, yeah.
$20 for a 5-pack. You know what I mean?
If you go to a actual vape shop, it's probably more expensive.
Yeah, 25 to 30.
Yeah.
Way more. Like they charge.
I know they were trying to charge me.
Yeah,
like
they charge you like $5 a
for
coil.
one.
Yeah.
That was like back in the day.
And the cool thing about my pod is that this is held together literally with rubber bands right now. But it's $5 for 2 of these, and they last me probably about a month each. So I can handle that cost. I can eat that cost. But like we had an OBS sub-ohm tank that I really liked. But the coils were, for like 3 of them, I think it was like $10. And I'm like, I go through one a week. There's no way. I'm not going to buy coils every month. I just can't.
Yep.
And that's not, I mean, people are probably going like, wow, what a cheap bastard. But it adds up over time. So Cheryl LeBoy pays $6 a coil. That's expensive.
It's actually not that bad. I spent more for a coil.
You just gotta watch what juice you're running through them either, because if you run crappy juice from
that's another thing. I like a lot of sweet vapes and dessert vapes, so my coils don't last long at all. Like vaping the one through a coil, I can't even imagine. If we
that's one
a couple days.
thing. I get a lot of messages. People will message me and say, how did you get 100 mLs of e-liquid through your pre-built, sub-ohm coil? Mine burned out in 2 days. And first thing I do is I ask them, what kind of e-liquid are you using?
Yep. And how do you
e-liquid? You'll see whenever I show off a sub-ohm tank, 9% of the time, I vape low wattage too. I'm only at 45 watts on the device. So I vape low wattage and I vape Adore e-liquid because I can get usually 100 mLs of e-liquid through a coil head if it's Adore. I have to find an e-liquid that's very low or has no sweeteners and no like other heavy gunking components in it.
And it's how you vape. I had a friend that like vape like a chimney, and she was like killing her coils within a day because she would just chug it like.
Oh, you'll see as you watch me on the live stream. I'm a chain vapor.
Clouds were like she was a cloud chaser, and she's like, I don't know why I'm burning my coils out so fast. I'm like, you like smoke out my entire house. Just by your one visit, I have to ask you to vape outside. That's pretty bad.
When a fellow vapor is telling you you're vaping too much, you know you got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was literally vaping my entire room out. I was like,
I vape a lot. I go through 100 mils in 3 days. 2 to 3 days is a 100 ml bottle for me. So yeah, my coil heads only last 2 to 3 days, but I got a full 100 mLs out of it.
Yeah, so you're ahead of the game.
That's a good metric. I think if you're getting 100 mils out of a coil, it's pretty good. Do you vape one particular e-liquid more? Like if you're vaping that much, are you vaping one liquid like that your go-to?
Yeah, like so banana bondage is my all-day vape. I can just vape. I gotta re-up. I just finished off my 100 ml bottle, so I gotta re-up. That one is one that I can just vape the crap out of. Otherwise, I do have to change up my e-liquids. Like these are e-liquids I didn't name off, but these are all my daily rotation e-liquids. They're right here on the desk with me. Because I vape so much, I get muted palate really quickly because of volume. I'm taking in so much. So I have to rotate my flavors, and every tank usually has a different flavor in it. And that's why I can say, you know, I got 4 devices that I'm vaping right now because I rotate through them a lot.
Definitely. No, I vape mostly my own e-liquid, which has 0 sweetener in it, except for whatever's in the flavorings, you know, before I even get my hands on them. And I, you know, can vape that on a set of coils for a month, and it doesn't like like coils I make, and for a month, and it's all good. But I try to rotate around a lot because I do a lot of reviews of e-liquid, mostly new reviews of e-liquid. So I try to, you know, switch stuff up. Like tonight, I have quite a few different flavors, and I'm lucky enough that I have some friends that make some really terrific e-liquid, like my friend Giz over there making this Gizzard brew. I'm really loving this stuff, and again, this is really easy on the coils as well. So I had no problem with this. So, so what are you vaping, Frank?
I got a real easy buffet. I'm just using topside with the drop solo, and I have my what juice I have in here. Oh, this is actually one of Addie Tooney's recipes. This is dark cherry custard.
Ooh, that sounds good, actually.
He figured out how to do cherry without it tasting like Robitussin.
Without it tasting like shit.
Exactly, it's really good.
Cherry is one of those flavors, man. It just is so cherry, grape, orange. There's just some flavors that just aren't. They just don't go. So, yeah.
Yeah, like today we were talking all flavor art on our show, and we were talking about like flavor art Royal Orange. That is straight up Tropicana. But if you mix it with too many creams, then you're going to start getting baby aspirin.
You know, that's weird. That's so weird. I used to, when I was hungover, when I was a kid, I say kid because I was legit a kid. I was like 15, 16. I would get real drunk the night before. And people are like, oh my God, right? No, I worked full time at that age in a restaurant, and I hung out with adults, and they would go to the bar and they would take me with them. And I would get wasted, and I would go to breakfast the next morning, and I would always get a glass of orange juice, and I would pour half and half in it and just chug it, man. Oh, there's nothing better for a hangover than half and half in orange juice.
Orange juice, you can just feel the vitamins going through you when you're hungover.
And that half and half, like, that half and half will just settle that belly too, real good.
Oh no, that half and half make me go to the bathroom.
Well, that too. It'll settle it one way or another. All right, Panda Vapes, what are you vaping?
I'm vaping a White Girl in my custom mod from Big Mike and Milk.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Are you using the headphone mic?
Yeah.
It's making tons of noise.
Oh, hold on, let me change it.
Yes, see, that FA Mandarin is effing fabulous. That stuff is a really good flavor as well. Another orange.
I'm like not even looking at the chat. What's going on, everybody? ADV, what's going on? ADV is getting ready to have a baby. That's why he hasn't been joining us lately.
He didn't look pregnant.
I know. He's holding his weight very well. But no, they're 2 weeks away. And his girl looks like she's going to pop any second. So they literally could have it any time. You know, 2 weeks.
Is that better?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
all right. Better. I had the fan on too, so I turned it off. Using my custom mod with Trinity Cat on the Goon, and that's with White Girl. And then I got the Milkman Classics Vanilla Custards. It's delicious. And his concoction that he made. What is this? A dot mod and
with the US1 V2.
V2. And yeah, it's delicious.
Tell me that setup does not look so
it's aesthetically
satisfying.
So cute.
I love power clashing.
This is so good. And Travis but Travis is going to have a review up way sooner than me on this.
Review will be up tomorrow.
Look out for that. But I'll be having one too.
Everybody keeps harassing me about how that juice is. I don't want to answer it because my review is going to be out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It's vanilla custard from Drip Club. Use your imagination.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Then I got what's this pod called? The black one?
Oh, it's the AI from what's the little iJoy?
Is it the AIO or is that what they call it? No, that's
it's the AI intelligent pod system.
Yeah, and then I have the Panda pod from Vupu, and they both have the banana custard. Wait, the banana pie. What is that
banana
called?
cream pie from Basic Salt.
Salt e-liquids. That is delicious. My favorite out of salts. I don't like very many salts, but that's one of my.
It's one of the only salt e-liquids that have a ton of flavor.
He's got me using pods, and I like them. They're easy
once you go to 50 milligram, it's hard to go back.
Once you find that good e-liquid that you like in a pod, it's actually like convenient to have a pod on you. And this one comes with like the strap and everything. It's really nice. And that's
it's almost like they're going back old school when the Ego pens used to come with the lanyards.
Yes, it was cool.
I worked with a guy back when I was still smoking. That's how he had quit. Using one of them, and then he gave up.
I still use them. Like when I'm cleaning the house and stuff, I have the vape sling, and you screw it down between your Addy and your mod, and that way it's around my neck, and I have my vape. And
I like it a lot. I still
use them to this day.
This is very convenient, especially if we go somewhere and we're walking around a lot, and I don't want to bring a purse. It'll be very convenient because a lot of times I have to carry a purse and a vape bag.
Did you see what she had, babe?
Yeah.
The vape sling?
What is it?
You screw it down between your mod and your Addy, and you can take any mod.
Where you get that?
Any mod. Vape sling. If you go to Instagram, they have a website. They have a website as well. It's vapesling.com. USA made. They do custom prints. So you can either get a print off their website, or you can actually get your own fabric and send it to them, and they'll do whatever print you send to them to do. For this one, it was $15.99. So I don't think that's too bad considering it's really durable. The stitching, everything.
It looks like it's durable. I'm gonna have to look that up.
So, and they have different sizes for you guys out there, you big burly guys with big long torsos. They have different lengths. So like if you're a short statured female, kind of like I am, I have the 15-incher, and then I think they go clear up to like 19 inches or something. And you can even message them. Great company, USA made. I sound like I'm totally promoting them. I bought this, paid for it for myself, you guys, not sponsored. I just really do like their company.
And they're called big on
advocacy. Yeah, they do a lot of advocacy stuff. They're just overall a really great company. So yeah, that's the vape sling there.
I'm gonna follow them. So
this paid advertisement brought to you by Kimmy Vapes.
They have a lot of.
I want my discount.
They have like Avengers and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to order their hand one because they have one that's basically like this, but it's shorter and it's a hand sling. So you didn't have all of this. You just put your hand through it and you can hold your mod and not worry about. Because I drop my mods a lot. Like
all of my most expensive mods have fucking huge dings in them from dropping them. Like from like
I'm not even going to respond to that because it will jinx me, and I'm not even going there. I'm staying out of that.
But hey, if
I'm definitely going to be ordering some of those.
If anybody sees Panda's mod tonight that she's using, it's the custom one that she has custom art on. You can get those from Big Mike's Box Mods. He's a pretty cool guy. They're really expensive. They're not cheap mods at all.
They're not that expensive for a custom mod. It was $250.
You got like a discount. It was like $300 and something.
No, I didn't. I got like a 10% discount.
Well, anyways, on $300, that's $30. So
I'm gonna say my CCI mod was $275, and it's auto firing.
You review it, and they give you a discount. Your reviewer's discount. I like it. It's hardy, and it. I mean, I have dinged this, and it hasn't dinged. Like the only thing that I get, the paint messes up with my nails. Trying to take this battery backpack off because it's so magnet. Like the magnets on it are so strong.
And it's got a built-in LiPo. It's a really nice mod. It got DNA 250 in it, and we've had a couple times where we've had to send it back to him. He services it totally free of charge. Boom.
I sent it back once, right?
No, we sent it back when we first got it because there was a paint. There's a defect in the paint.
Oh yeah, there was like a little defect in one of the either the back or the front, and he paid for it to get sent back. And no, he actually didn't send it. He sent mine first, and then I sent it back, and then I needed to send it all back because I guess there was too much juice in it. I don't know. It was acting crazy. It was like the watts were all going crazy. The volts were going crazy. It was auto firing. But it's pretty good. I like it. It's my favorite regulated mod. It's like the only regulated mod I use.
I'm actually using 2 regulated mods right now, which is very unusual for me. Okay, so that's all you're vaping though, girl?
Yep.
All right, so my turn. I got a lot of stuff, of course, like always. First, I want to thank Easy Rider. Easy Rider sent me out this Conqueror RTA, which we were talking about on one of the shows. Somebody actually donated money for me to buy one. We had a lot of trouble finding a reputable site that still sells these. These are amazing postless RTAs. They're a little bit older, but they still hold up really well. But while I was waiting to try to find one to buy, Easy Rider, who's a fan of the show, he actually sent me this, along with an old school Tobacco clone mech mod, a bunch of doodads and some coils and stuff. He's a great guy. And so I just wanted to say, if he's watching, thank you so much. I've been using the hell out of this thing. I have it on this Armor by EH Pro. It's like a semi-regulated mod. And just absolutely love this thing. So happy to have one again. Had one for the longest time. Panda dropped it and broke it. And so
what? You say that. I don't remember doing that.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, but you did.
I think that is make believe.
Great mod. Great, amazing flavor. I just love it.
I don't drop things.
I don't know what's in here. I think it's White Girl. White Girl's my DIY. So that's what I vape a lot of. In here, in this Battle Master clone, we were talking about clones last show, so I wanted to bust out all my clones that I still have. This is one of them. It's called the Battle Master. It's a cute little thing, and I have the Doge V2 old school, and I'm rocking Kingpin from Boss. This is the peanut butter tobacco. I'm not a huge tobacco guy, but this thing is fucking delicious. It's not like as good as Code 69 from Drip Code. That was the best peanut butter flavor I've ever had in my life. But this is a really, really good peanut butter with some dark notes. And I love it. Absolutely love this liquid. It's amazing. Still rocking this shit, trying to get through this. I know what you dripped last summer from fucking Vapors. They ran a promotion. They were giving these things away for free for a limited time. You paid the shipping.
It tasted like, I don't know. I still got to do my review, so I'm not going to say anything.
It's supposed to be rice squares with strawberry. It's I don't know. It's not terrible, but I'm still vaping it, so it can't be that bad.
It's something that it's a lower grade.
It's definitely not high grade. Yeah, I'm vaping the one, and if anybody knows me,
we're actually sharing that one.
This one has been steeped to hell. Look how dark that shit is.
I had 5 of them. I gave one away for a giveaway.
She loves this stuff. I actually did not like it when I reviewed it, but right now, there's something about it. I'm liking it, so I'm vaping it.
It definitely kills your kind.
this you want to talk about things you should not use in sub-ohm tanks? You should not use the one in a sub-ohm tank. This is going to cost you so much money in the long run. You're going to go through 10 coils before you get through this bottle.
It literally gets to a point where it you can tell that you need to clean your coil, burn your coils up because it's got so much sugar on the coils. It vapes hard. It takes forever for it to heat up.
What did I see here? Say hello to some people. Juan Castillo, what's up, brother? That vape. JFM development, I have not tried that, but I definitely want to. It's not the first time I've heard about it either.
I had that about a year ago. It was good.
Good?
I did a review on it back then.
Peanut butter vapes are another one that's usually they taste like burnt peanuts. So
no, that one's pretty good. It's another one. Don't run in a sub-ohm tank because you'll pay for it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. There it is. And it's got quite a bit of e-liquid in it if it tells you anything about what I thought about it.
Peanut
butter vapes are hard.
They are hard.
Really dry for me.
The one that we had was really good. Who was that from?
It's called Code 69 from Drip Code. They're
delicious.
They're either Malaysian or Indonesian, and they had a whole line of e-liquid that I did not care for, except for one, which was a peanut butter and jelly, and
you can taste both of them.
It was fan-fucking-tastic. It was the best peanut butter e-liquid I've ever had. You can taste
the peanut butter and the jelly. It was phenomenal. It was so good.
I'm good to know that, Swag, because I'm actually going to be talking about this liquid right here. Just a little preview.
Yeah, I didn't get that one yet.
I've had it for a while, so I'm feeling pretty special.
I got the first one, early, but I didn't get that one.
Where was I going? I was showing off. See, I showed my ass, and then now I don't know where I was going with any of this stuff. Yeah, it's Code 69. Anybody has a chance to try it, definitely worth a try. Peanut butter and jelly. It was amazing. Absolutely.
I don't even think it was that expensive either.
I don't know. I didn't actually. They sent me a whole thing, and I didn't like any of it except for the one liquid. So
they sent you like a cool mod holder.
Yeah, like a hard mod, like mech mod case. Cool. So I got this since I saw Kenny B in the chat. I actually busted out this Steam.
Steampunk?
It's from Steel Punk, but it's called the Steam Punk. This is a limited edition. It's made from copper. Normally they were made from steel. This is hardwood here. And this is a really expensive, very limited mechanical mod. Love it. Aesthetically, obviously, it's beautiful. And I have like the cheapest, fucking most throwaway RDA on it of all time. I have the this is the Heracles RDA, which most people don't even know was a thing.
I have one. I actually have a Heracles RDA.
I really love the Heracles RDA.
Give away to somebody.
I like the Heracles RDA because when I bought it brand new, it was $20. And it has underneath coil airflow plus side airflow, which I think at the time was pretty ahead of its time. It is decent looking. It's a little tall. But this was right at the, when they released this, 24 was becoming the new standard. And so this really got overlooked. And Heracles had already had its moment in the sun with their Heracles sub-ohm tank, which in my opinion was one of the better sub-ohm tanks at that time. But people just didn't associate them with RDAs. And then again, it was 22 millimeter at a time. The 22 millimeter was definitely not in vogue. And so this got really overlooked. And for a while you could find these RDAs on Kidney Puncher for $4.99. They sold out really quick.
Fast. Like we looked at the site and we were planning on buying a whole bunch of stuff from it. And then when we went back, everything was sold out.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Crazy.
So then I'm vaping custard in that from the custard from Gizzard Stew, Gizzard Brew, Spork Life, and from Vaping Swag. It's like a collaboration effort between the two of them. But in my top side on the Drop Solo, I have their newest creation, which is Gizzard Brew Blueberry Custard. And I think Gizzard Blue is an easy, it's like a big missed opportunity for you guys there. Maybe in the next iteration or something. But this is really good. I have a review that's coming up. I already filmed it. Now, I will say this. I'm always going to prefer this over this just because I'm a straight kind of custard guy over blueberry custard. But I think this is really, really good as well. So look forward to a review from that. Okay.
We're looking forward to trying the strawberry one.
Yeah, definitely want to get into that at some point if they release it. I don't know if they're going to release it or not. So, this is.
I was looking forward to it.
This is the Soren Vagon held together with Hopes and Dreams, and I have Vapetasia Killer Custard in here. I'm going to review that as well. They're sending out the whole line of the Killer Custard in salt. I'm kind of on the fence. Killer Custard loses a little bit once it's turned to 50-50, which is all these are 50-50 blends, these Nick Salt liquids. I got other things. Got the Proton here from Inikin, which I think is probably one of the better. I'm going to also talk about this tonight. Probably one of the better regulated mods released all year. It's got some problems, but it's also really, 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 really good. Really, really good. Fire's super low. Like I put on things here that are 0.05. And it'll fire them. So I like this a lot. It's got a great menu. Really cool. Innikin, I think, has come so far in the past 2 years. So I'm really happy to see that. Yeah, I have a lot of affection for Innikin because they were part of my vape journey. Got my V-God here with my Aeolus Light, my favorite RDA of all time. I'm kind of stuck in the past with 22 mil RDAs because I'm old school like that. But yeah, definitely love Aeolus Light. I forget what's in here. Something. Doesn't matter. I got a lot of shit going on, obviously. And then I got my big boy. This is my penis extender, if you guys didn't know. And I have this is the UD Gladiator 26650 and the Sherman. It could be authentic. You don't know. I could have spent all that money. I didn't know, really. This was a gift. My mom's ex-husband, Mike. What's up, Mike? He bought this for me. So
while they were still married?
No. Oh. Long after divorce. We're still very friendly. He's the father of my brother, so it's kind of one of those lifelong relationships that you're gonna have, you know what I mean? He's a wacky guy though.
Yeah, you see Coil Art's coming out with a Mage V2 with the stack 21700s.
I like that.
I see that.
Yeah, I want one. I guess they're out, but I think they're like $65. Not bad.
What I do want right now that I've been looking at is the Bogan.
Yep, that's one pre-order right now over at my V Pro. Like,
I don't really care about the RDA, but the mod I think looks kind of cool. And
they changed up the RDA. It's not the same Bonzo.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
Sam said he changed a few things on it that he didn't like about the first run.
Yeah, I mean, we were me and Pena both were pretty underwhelmed with the original Bonzo, and she bought it out of her pocket because she was excited about it. Because we all have, a little bit of affection for the Bogan because he's the Bogan. But we were pretty disappointed with that RDA. So
I still used it, but it wasn't like nothing great. I was pretty disappointed in it.
That was when
I like the look of it more than anything.
That was when I really realized too many YouTubers are developing hardware just because they're YouTubers. Yeah. And they don't really have any good.
They do that in every category of YouTube. People just create things just to put their name on it.
Yeah.
And not knowing if they actually work correctly or not. Just to get their name on a box or their face on a box.
There's really, and I'm probably going to step on some toes here, but there's really only one person who I think actually has a lot of really good input. There's two people, really good input into what makes a good device or mod or RDA or any of that, and that's Brian from the Vapor Chronicles. I think has a good head on his shoulders as far as what vapors like and want. And the other guy, the little guy, Tony.
Tony B.
Tony B.
Yeah. I love all his RDAs that I bought from him.
I think Tony B more than to me. I think of Tony B as being more of a designer than a YouTuber. I never really cared for his YouTube, but I think that his RDAs have all been pretty.
I liked his YouTube.
Well, he was squonking before squonking was cool. He was buying getting the $400 and $500 little squonk boxes. So he's been all about it. And I think if he gets away from Vandy Vape and actually gets a reputable company to make his stuff, I think his stuff will be even better.
Big, yeah.
I think that if they can get some capital behind them, they should really look about starting their own company.
Yeah, I could see that with some of them, but then you're talking dealing directly with China. That's why you have your middleman. You have dealing with Dove Pro, we're dealing with Vandy Vape, we're dealing with Geek Vape and Hell Vape and all them. They have a rep here that speaks English that they deal with, and they don't have to worry about going to Shenzhen and dealing with all that crap.
Well, how about developing smaller numbers here stateside?
Then you're looking at $100 RDA, you're looking at a $250 squonk mod.
Not necessarily. I mean,
unless you're going to get Jesse to 3D print them for them, you're going to.
I think you're looking at a more expensive product.
Absolutely.
But I think you're not. It doesn't have to be all or nothing either. I don't think it has to be. It's all about materials, and it's all about labor. And I think that there are ways here in the U.S. to do what they do in China. It's going to cost us 50% more maybe to produce. But these guys right now, Yeah, well, even if it's 100% more, the markup that these guys are going from what they're paying in China to consumer is so much, so much. So I don't know. It's just something something I would like to see.
Materials are gonna probably cost a lot more, and
well, now because of the tariffs, I think that it's not even something that can happen right now because material tariffs for things like aluminum, steel, copper, all that shit is getting hit really hard with taxes coming into the country. So
Ford just laid off a bunch of workers because they're having trouble.
Yep, absolutely. Kenny B, man, you are such a goofball. That's why I love you, though. You speak your opinion, my friend. Mike Vapes has put out good things. Yeah, okay. I mean, nothing that I've been knocked over by one, but I definitely think that, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't put out good things, but for my money, I'm going to pick Brian or the other guy, can't remember his name. I'm going to pick them every day of the week over Mike. Tony B. Yeah. Mike Vapes is cool, man. I like Mike Vapes. You know, I think I like his YouTube a lot. From what I watch of it, I don't watch a lot of YouTube vaping stuff anymore since I started the channel.
Did we have anything from Mike Vapes?
I never bought the Recurve or the Recurve Squonk or I've used some of that stuff.
I used to watch him a lot.
Yeah.
When I used to watch vape videos.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I never really got into I never wanted anything that he built that much.
Yeah. It never jumped out at me.
No.
You know. So. All right, so enough bashing these poor bastards. Let's move on to something else. And Grim Green's RDA, I thought was not good. Smoke 42 Vape says Grim Green's OG RDA is awesome. I have to totally disagree with that.
I heard.
I like Grim Green. I did not like that RDA. Yep. I had that RDA for a while, and I traded it because I thought it was not great. Just my opinion.
Oh, his OG RDA. I've never even seen that.
I'm just a guy, right? I'm just a guy. I'm not
part of the new one that he
I'm not
has.
an authority or anything.
The new one that he created.
I didn't like Grim Green's e-liquids either, though. So, I mean, I like Grim Green a lot. I just didn't really like his products that he released. That's all.
Panda, is that a bread squishy that you're playing with there?
Yeah. I'm into squishies.
I thought it was an orange at first.
My stress reliever.
Yeah.
We got bags of those things laying around.
Yeah. I remake them. My stress relievers. This one, I bought like 6 more of these because they're like my favorite ones.
Yeah, I really like. I'm sitting here watching you squish it, and I'm like, I want one. one.
You need to go on Banggood site if you get them so cheap and they're so good.
They are very satisfying.
It's a hit and miss because it's just like an Amazon for squish. Well, they have other stuff, but when it comes to squishies, this on Banggood, you get the US version. It's so amazing, and you get it fast. Okay. I tried buying ones from Amazon, and I was so disappointed. I was so mad.
I had a lot of hit and miss with squishies with Amazon. My daughter loves them.
I'll never do it again.
Satisfying, too. Yeah. When you find a good one, it's so
This
satisfying.
Is like my favorite. Oh, if you haven't tried this one, you have to get it. And it's only like $6 US on Banggood, and it's the most satisfying one I've had. It's so beat up. Like you can see fingerprints in it.
Okay, ladies, we're gonna move on from squishies now. So I wanted to go around because we're getting close. We're getting close to already being close to 8 o'clock. I wanted to get some comment from everybody. We're getting close to the end of the year. People are starting to go shopping for their loved ones. Vapes, Black Friday's coming around, Cyber Monday, whatever, right? It's all the same shit. Sales are coming, right? And I wanted to give our audience and people who watch the replay some ideas of what our favorite products of this last year have been so far, and some things that we would recommend to others, right? It can be e-liquid, it could be hardware, it could be one of each. But if we could just do a couple per person, and I think that we can give people a pretty good idea of where they should be going. We kind of last week I kind of recommend people not buy e-liquid for people in their lives because it's kind of really personal thing. But there are some good e-liquids that I'm going to do an end of the year e-liquid list, of course, like I've been doing every year. But I think there are a couple of e-liquids that are worth buying, even if you don't buy them for a gift for someone, that you buy for yourself. And there's been some really, really big, beautiful things come through this year. So so let's do that. Why don't we start with you, Frank? Give us a fat list of the best that Frank had all year.
So you know me, I don't get a ton of hardware since I'm mostly, I like my single coil stuff, especially for flavor testing. A little compact, 22 millimeters. So, Drop Solo is my favorite single coil for the year. The BTFC turned out to be better than expected from Og Vape. You get decent flavor off of it. Obviously, you're not getting the same flavor that you're going to get on, a little compact 22 millimeter, but you're still going to get good flavor. RTA wise, the Drop Dead RTA turned out to be really nice, better than I expected it to be. The one that I was really disappointed and it cost a shit ton of money was the Hive, the 28 millimeter Hive. No flavor whatsoever. You got to run it high as hell just to get anything out of it. So you're going to suck down your batteries. I was really disappointed on that one. I paid $60 for it at a show.
Okay.
I didn't really mess with sub-ohm tanks hardly at all. Mod wise, that Aegis Legend mod turned out to be pretty good. It was durable. After they came out with the firmware update, it helped it a lot with the battery life and that problem where the screen would stay kind of on. It was like the backlighting on the screen would stay on. It would suck down your battery when you didn't realize it. They fixed that. So at least they fixed what their screw ups were.
I like that.
And Squonk mod, topside all day long, topside. Pulse 80 watt turned out to be really good as well, but this topside just does it. It's just so easy. I mean, I heard some people say they had some problems with the first runs, but DAW Pro is standing behind their work and they are correcting it. So I'll give them that. First runs of something new, obviously, you do have issues, just like you don't buy the first model of a car because they may not know what the hell they were doing.
Absolutely.
And I do have a 22 millimeters coming this week. Kind of impulse buy, peer pressure. I got that Citadel coming. $83 with shipping. I'm thinking you're spending $75 for an RDA and they're not going to give you free shipping.
Of course not.
I'm like, Cyclone mods, you dicks.
You should know that by now, man. They're going to hammer you every chance they get.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I've heard a lot of good things about it. That day one looks good, but just you got to go through hoops right now to get it. I'll wait till it becomes easier to get.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love Dean to death, but I don't want to jump through hoops to get it.
1 year ago.
I'm looking at my YouTube and I'm looking back through the last.
So don't even come to me.
Okay, we'll skip you then.
Yeah, you know more than I do. I usually just vape.
I'm sure you'll chime in when I start. I'll do mine, and we're gonna save Kimmy for last. So she's the guest. So some of the things that I've been really impressed with all year. Definitely the top side and the Drop Solo. I think the Drop Solo, without a doubt, is the best single coil RDA, not just of the year, but that I've ever used. I love it. I think when I get a single coil RDA, I want it to perform a certain way. I'm not looking for mouth to lung for my RDAs, and this performs exactly like a dual coil RDA. I get the same kind of flavor. I love the airflow on it. It comes with two top caps. There's the good one, the metal one, and then there's one that you never use, which is the plastic one. But it does come with options. It has the airflow adjustment. It's like half a drop, which I just love. Why fix what's broken? It's got one of the best decks for building. I'm so surprised I don't see more coil builders on Instagram using this as their platform because it's really built for that. And it's a perfect combination for this top side.
I need one of those for Christmas.
Definitely.
I haven't even got to use that at all.
I was using the top side with a lot of different dual coil RDAs that I just was not being satisfied with. As soon as I put the Solo on there, single coil, 0.34 ohm coil, this thing really came alive for me. And that 90 watts, it's given me plenty of power, which was like my main gripe for the top side was not enough power. But at this ohm and single coil, I think it was made for this. And so, yeah, I love the top side. I just love the top side for its aesthetics, the feel, the build quality, the innovation in filling the squonk bottle. But I think really to get the best out of it, you really need to have this drop solo, in my opinion, right? Love the drop solo. So I think the Proton from Anakin, I think is a really, really, really fantastic regulated mod. High wattage, cheap price. It's a little flimsy as far as the build quality. You could easily break this thing, but the screen, like honestly, it rivals cell phone screens in its clarity, its brightness. The menu system is super simple, but you can dig in here. There's a curve system that's customizable. It has a bypass mode. It fires really, really low, which is a must for me. Got to have that. Temperature control that no one uses, but it's still there. I love it. It has a joystick. Anything with a fucking joystick, I'm sold because I'm a nerd, and I love it. It comes different colors, et cetera, et cetera. One of my absolute biggest things that I loved this year were the challenge caps that came out for the Dead Rabbit. I think that the Dead Rabbit had the best deck without a doubt in the game, but I hated the Dead Rabbit's airflow. We loved it when we first got it. On our trip from Florida to California, we were vaping it. But then we were vaping that for a while. But then we switched over to Tony
That's
B.
when we found out how bad it was when we were vaping Tony B, Pulse, and that the Dead Rabbit like off and on, and we were like, wow, the flavor is so different. We're
vaping the same liquid in the Dead Rabbit. The Dead Rabbit, and then we switched to the Pulse, and I was like, holy shit, the Dead Rabbit sucks, right?
It like pulled out like flavors that weren't like that were nasty. Like it was just
and so when they released these challenge caps, I was on board, and I tell you what, ever since then, I use the Dead Rabbit with a challenge cap every single day. It's my absolute go-to. Best thing that happens.
Also all the new Trinity caps that came out recently.
Yep, all the Trinity stuff that came out. But I think that kind of goes without saying. Trinity has been and will be one of my favorite companies.
The new mod that came out, but we haven't tried it, so we can't really say on that. But the caps are great. The new one for the Goon, and they have obviously for other RDAs. This is amazing because it's like Chuff Cat one. I like it a lot.
They have two new designs for the glass.
This one's like
Trinity's amazing. And Trinity's it's not a new RDA. It wasn't released this year, but this RDA
has different colors.
Super easy to build on, and all these new colored caps I think are pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, they have a whole bunch of different colored caps, which is awesome.
Love Trinity. You know, my biggest thing that I'm really been happy about, and I was late to get on board, but was definitely pod systems, high Nick, Salt Nick. I'm in love with it. I think that we still have a long way to go to get that perfection, get like the perfect devices still. For my money, the Soren Vagon right now is the one to beat. It's got that
compared to this one, that one is so much better because it's like, so you get such a restrictive, it's better airflow. This is more airy than that.
When it comes to a pod system, the airiness is the last thing you want. You don't
this
want.
This one actually like whistles.
You don't want this loose airflow. You want a tight draw, and this one has a really great draw. So love the Soren Vagon, probably my favorite pod of the year. So just to recap, anything from Trinity, I think the Dead Rabbit is alive with the sound of challenge caps. I think the Soren Vagon is a win. I think that Gizzard Brew is a great liquid if you're looking for a custard. I think Code 69 from Drip Code is a great peanut butter and jelly. There was a couple other things I wanted to highlight as well. Just give me 1 second.
I know one RDA I'm still interested in picking up is the Profile. That mesh looks like it's a flavor monster, especially when I saw Daniel's review of it. Yep.
Oh, the mesh. just mesh in general as a heating element as opposed to a wick.
Yeah,
was a great innovation this year, and the mesh RDA from Vandy Vape has been one of my favorites.
And then now they're coming up with sub-ohm tanks with mesh. It's really good.
Yeah, they're like the only like was it the Fire Luke Mesh Pro?
Yeah, that's what
that's probably gonna be one of the best flavor ones of the year.
I still have like the original. I'm still vaping on the first coil that I had for it. They last a long time.
Yeah, the ones for the Arrow didn't last very long.
For the one that you just mentioned, it lasts.
Yeah, the Mesh Pro. Yeah, I heard they last a while.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the juices that I use, and it still is good. I haven't had to crack open that second mesh yet.
So one more thing to recommend, in my opinion, is the Venus RDA. It came out of nowhere. It's from a company that nobody's probably ever heard of. What is it called here? It's from Stage Vape. It's a Chinese company. Good. That RDA is amazing, both as a squonk RDA or just on its own. I think that it's hard to beat as far as flavor. The deck is amazing to build on. It's just a win. It's just a total win. Last year, I think my favorite RDA of the year was the Drop. I would probably say this year it would probably be the Stage Vape Venus. I don't want to give it to, the one I use the most is the Dead Rabbit with the challenge cap, but that's kind of cheating in my opinion. So to me, as far as like innovation and straight usefulness and price point, I think the Stage Vape Venus is hard to beat at this point, unless something new comes out and really blows me away in the next few months. So, all right, that about does it for me. I will have a more comprehensive list of top 10s towards the end of the year that I'm going to do top 10 pods, top 10 mods, all that shit. All those things that people click on so I can get all that sweet, sweet YouTube views. But until then, Kimmy, what has been something that stuck out to you this year, or a few things, or a lot of things?
Not a lot, actually. I still have a lot of best of 2017s that I've been using in my rotation. I do have a couple things that I've already kind of decided is my best of 2018. One of them is going to be, as far as mesh RDAs go, the profile knocked it out of the park. The innovativeness that they did with the ceramic block that holds your cotton up against your mesh made mesh vaping enjoyable. If I do get a dry hit on my mesh coil here, it's the same as getting a dry hit on a regular round wire coil, because the cotton is still in contact with the mesh. So you're getting the dry taste from the cotton and not from flaming hot metal like we've seen with other mesh RDA. So that's that.
We need to get that.
To me, is a hands down 2018 winner, innovative. If you want to try mesh, if you're into mesh, the flavor on mesh in an RDA is just ridiculous on flavor. But it's something you got to be somebody that likes rebuildables. You got to like that style of vaping. I wouldn't tell some new vapor, go get the profile mesh RDA. That's 2018 there for me. Next is going to be a sub-ohm tank. I've had so many sub-ohm tanks this year. But one that I buy coils for, I continually use, is the Bulldog sub-ohm tank by Desire Design. And there's a couple reasons why. One, their coils don't leak. The way they designed this tank, I can leave it sit full of e-liquid for days, and I don't tip over my sub-ohm tank in e-liquid, pour out the airflow. So that's one. The next is it's a slide open to fill, but this is something they've done that I've seen no other sub-ohm tank maker do, is they have tracks on either side. So it's less likely to open up in your pocket, open up in your purse. It's not completely foolproof on that, but I really do like the slide open they did on there. And it's got a large capacity tank on it. And they're doing mesh coil heads. And the mesh coil heads that they have in here perform phenomenally. So that's going to be my best sub-ohm tank of the year. When it comes to devices, I'm still for the most part out. I'm still out looking at all the devices that have come across my table. One that I get a lot of flack for because I don't put it down, and I'm a reviewer, so I should be constantly using other devices. but most of the time when I go out, you'll see in my Instagram pictures, I'm using the Vaporesso Polar mod for a lot of the same reasons that Travis said. One, it has super player mode so that it fires all the way down to a 0.03 ohm build.
Wow.
And it's the rapid fire. So they have that in there where it gives you that boost at the beginning. So I'll just show you here. Instantaneous firing, reliable. I've dropped this thing at least a dozen times. The paint on it's holding up. There's a couple areas like where it says Polar is starting to wear off, but as far as reliability of this mod, the functionality, it does everything you could ever ask it to do. It has all the temp control, all the custom curve modes, bypass mode, all of those things. And like I said, super player mode, if you're one of those people that really like to build really low. And it's dual battery, 18650, comfortable in the hand. They have another model that they did, and that was the Vaporesso Revenger, which had a touchscreen, and I didn't like that one as much. I like the feel of tactile buttons, and they have a center menu button. So accessing the menu is literally just one click of a button. You don't have to remember 3 clicks, hold this, hold that. It's just very simple. So that's my mod of the year that really has, and it came out pretty early in the year too, and I've just been using the crap out of it and love it. Let's see, RDA, single coil RDA. I'm gonna veer off the path of Frank and Travis here. I actually like the recurve over the drop solo, and that was a hard one for me because there are things that the drop solo can do that the recurve can't, right? So recurve, there's no versatility in building. You build one way and that's pretty much it. The drop solo, like you said, it's a builder's dream. You can really use it to showcase some very nice, beautiful, intricate builds. You can get creative with the build posts or the deck and the way the posts are done. Recurve won for me because of the flavor. It's such a, I gotta get my cap off. Oh, that looks nasty. I'm sorry, you guys. That chamber is so reduced. It's such a reduced chamber that there's nowhere else for that airflow to go except hitting your coils and then coming straight up into your mouth. So the flavor on this thing is just banging, and that's why it's going to be, and unless I get another single coil RDA that, you know, beats it out right now, that's probably going to be my best of 2018 for single coil. And for dual coil, I'm still out. I'm not sure on a dual coil yet. I have no clear front runner best of 2018 dual coil for me yet. Let's see. Squonker. This is, I think it came out in 2018. The Rage Squonk mod, dual battery.
Yep.
I know a lot of people had problems with the first couple runs of the Rage Squonk mod. I've talked to those people. I get there was and may still be a serious issue. I have 3 of these puppies. I use them for, that's my squonk. This is my go-to squonk mod. And all 3 are working 100% perfect. No issues. Never had any problems with the first recall run. And my favorite one, obviously, is this brush steel. It is a very heavy mod. It's dual battery, and that's what I like about it. When they released the update to make the battery life better on it, I just find I can load this up and vape it all day long, and I really like it. Mind you, I don't have the top side, and I don't have the recurve squonker, so this is just what squonkers have come across my desk. And if you go on my YouTube channel, you can see everything that I've reviewed for the year, and you know. But this has been my favorite squonker. And the recurve and the profile always sit on top of that squonker. And that's my best. As far as e-liquid goes, I'm always going to recommend Adore e-liquid. I think she has just about something for everybody on her site. Whether you're a fruity or a bakery or a savory, she's got something on her site that will appeal to your taste buds. I love her. I love her e-liquids. Longtime customer. Prohibition. We talked about Prohibition a little bit earlier. While I did not personally like their peanut butter vape, I vaped the hell out of all of their other all of their fruity vapes. So they have a fresh fruit and cream that is phenomenal. It's refreshing on the palate. It didn't gunk up my coils. I'm holding an empty bottle right now because this is my reminder to buy more. And then they had another one that, what was the name of it? Did I bring it down here with me? It was a watermelon lemonade. And I know it's wintertime now, so people are more moving towards bakeries and savories and not really vaping a lot of fruit e-liquids anymore. But it was, here it is, geez, on the other side of me, watermelon lemonade, which is going to be called White Lightning. And they also have a iced White Lightning too, if you like mentholated culotta type vapes. Was super phenomenal. I vaped the crap ton out of that too, and it was really good. So those are what I have for 2018 so far.
Since we have you here, Kimmy, looking outside of 2018, and I ask a lot of people this, your favorite all-time desert island, you can have one e-liquid, what would it be?
Banana bondage. Because I never mute my palate with it. Like, yeah. I can vape the crap ton out of it. And I always know it's banana bondage.
Not trying to talk you out of banana bondage, but if you like banana bondage, have you tried banana cream pie from Basics?
Not.
It's really good.
Yes. Yes, no, or no. I don't think, no. I did not get their banana cream pie. They sent me a bunch of their e-liquid, but they didn't send me the banana cream pie.
Yeah,
I did try Magnum
them.
Pie,
yeah, I didn't get it either.
It is so good.
Banana cream pie, in my opinion, is the best flavor probably from that line. Definitely worth taking a look at. Has a lot of similarities to banana bondage. It's a little bit more rich, if that makes any sense. But very, very similar with the authentic banana flavor.
I vaped the whole bottle. it was gone.
And their Salt Nick version of the same liquid is probably the most flavorful, most like saturated with flavor Salt Nick e-liquid I've ever had. Most Salt Nick e-liquids lose a lot because you're using a very high ohm pod to vape them. But there's something about that banana cream pie. It comes through very, very well.
That is like my go-to for Salt Nicks for pods. Is that flavor? Because I loved the regular one and I love the Salt Nick one. It's just so good.
And we both love banana bondage. Banana bondage is a great flavor, but I think that Basics is also
the richness. It just makes it so much better. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's
very addicting. It's so addicting.
Yeah, both good flavors, but just something. If you like banana, there's so few good bananas on the market that it's anytime I know somebody who likes banana bondage, I'm like, well, if you ever want another banana, there is another banana as well. Somebody had to, they didn't have to because I already knew this, but I was talking on a review about bananas and I was saying, candy banana. And this lady's like, well, that candy banana flavor, and I'm not trying to make fun. If you're watching this, I'm not making fun of you in any way. But she's like, candy banana is actually a real banana that died out. The Cavendish, I think is what it was called. That's what they tasted like. And they died out because the way that we have bananas grown is we have no genetic diversity. They're all based on a clone. And every banana that's grown for consumption is all grown from this one mother plant. And so things like disease can come through and wipe out entire species of banana. And that's what happened with the Cavendish. I believe it was the Cavendish, which is like when I say candy banana, that is that flavor. They tasted like that. But the bananas that we're used to now is a much softer, smoother banana that we have in flavors like banana bondage and the Basics banana cream pie. So when I say candy banana, I'm just referring to that old school Runts style.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, because there's a few concentrates that are banana concentrates that I get Runts from immediately, and it's just like, no.
Nope.
No, I want a real banana, like the banana cream pie that I love. Oh.
I need banana. Okay, so we're past the hour mark, but I wanted to talk about one more thing. We'll just touch on it real quick. And this is the recent, if people in chat don't know, there's recently been, we've known this was coming, So the FDA did a crackdown on JUUL specifically, saying that JUUL cannot sell their flavored e-liquids in physical locations like stores, gas stations, etc. They still can sell pods that are flavored like menthol and tobacco. So they have a couple tobacco pods, I think, and they also have like the wintergreen pod or whatever, right?
Those there's like a Virginia, a burley for the tobacco. Then they have a mint, which is kind of menthol-y.
And so those are still available right now in stores. In order to get the other ones like the creme brulee and the fruits and all that and the mango, you have to order those online. I'm actually a really late convert to JUUL.
Vape shops. Vape shops are still allowed to carry the mango, the brulee, and all of that.
So I'm a very late convert to the JUUL. I got one given to me secondhand. I did not ever use any of their pods. I just refilled a pod that I had.
But he loved it.
But I loved it. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the form factor. I think it performs very well. You know, but then at the same time, when I was using my JUUL one day, I have a 16-year-old son, and I was reading an article to him, and I was talking about the JUUL, and he goes, yeah. He goes, all the kids at my school have that JUUL. And so it really broke my heart, first off, to know that that some of the shit that we're reading is true. Kids are using the JUUL. But it is because it's available in such a wide berth of places. Do I think that banning those specific flavors is going to do anything at all to curb that? No. But what I'm afraid of is it sets a precedent that they're saying we've already done it now. We've already banned flavors because that's what they've done. They've just banned flavors.
Yeah.
No matter how you want to look at it, it's a very limited run. It's kind of like a test kit for them.
It doesn't just apply to JUUL.
It doesn't.
While JUUL has been their stepchild, you know, they're using JUUL as an example. It applies to all flavored e-liquid in convenience stores and gas stations. So whether it be My Blue, whether it be JUUL, whether it be like, you know, you can go get those pint flavored bottles. They sell like little 15, 30 mil e-liquids at the convenience store for your Soren Airs and stuff.
And Walmart has
those will be gone.
Yeah, Walmart has a whole range of 30 mil bottles of flavored e-liquid that are like premium styled e-liquids, right? They're made to look like what you would buy at a vape shop. Those are all gone, or they will be shortly. All the gas stations locally here to where I live, they all sell Space Jam and Space Jam starter kits. I would imagine all those two are going to be all gone. And but it's not just those products. It's flavored tobacco. So all the blunts that the kids are using to smoke their blunts with.
I honestly don't think it should be in convenience stores anyway. Like, honestly. Because I remember me being young, how easy it was to get cigarettes, get someone to buy you cigarettes.
But it's just as easy, man. There's no, if a kid wants to get something, they're going to get it. If a teenager wants alcohol, cigarettes, vape products, it doesn't matter where we're selling it. Okay, so we're going to ban flavored vodka now?
But they can get their parents to buy it for them. They can get if they're vaping, I'm sure their parents know that.
We used to hang out outside the liquor store, and we would just find some scruffy looking Nerf herder and be like, hey, bro, here's $10, go buy us what we want to buy. And it's going to be the same online. And so it makes
it bad.
And really, I think they know that, but it's them putting their foot in that pile of shit and saying, look, now we've done it. And what was the reaction to the community? The community is going to be lethargic about it. And they're going to be like, well, it's just affecting this one thing. We're going to deal with this. And it just sets us up to be continually targeted, because when they realize this had no impact on the sales to minors, they're going to be like, well, we need to take further action. So just a little scary to me, something to look out for. And people, I know JUUL is like the redheaded stepchild, not just of the FDA, but also our community. looks at JUUL like a problem. But you have to
they have anti-juuling clubs at my daughter's school. There's banners everywhere. JUUL's not cool and all that stuff.
Yeah. Wow. But I think even in our community, people look at JUUL. There was somebody in chat, I'm not trying to single you out. They're like, I'll never vape a JUUL, right? JUUL is just a vape, right? They're not like, they're like the biggest.
They're not owned by big tobacco. I mean, that's one good thing, right?
Not yet. And yet they're going to need to, though, to stay in business. You're going to have to sell out.
No, because they're PAX labs.
Yep.
They make the majority of their money off their dry herb vaporizers. The JUUL was an afterthought, though I will say the JUUL was an afterthought, but it was designed by smokers because the CEO of PAX Lab was a tobacco smoker. And when he made the JUUL, he became, you know, a JUUL user, and he stands by his product. And as much as this is the American mentality. We're the U.S. The whole world revolves around the United States. These are only affecting us here in the United States. JUUL is selling, you know, JUUL did lower their nicotine milligrams so that they could sell in the UK. So they're selling crap tons of JUULs in the UK. And I'm just glad to see a company that's not big tobacco having such a large area of the market, even if it is a company that
the market share of the JUUL
on
the market share of the JUUL is going to shock people. I think people don't really understand how deep the JUUL goes. Market share. Let me look at. I don't want to like give you guys false numbers. I think I know what it is.
I do know. Yeah, I know that they are a private company. Somebody commented me or corrected me. Thank you for that. I like correction if I'm wrong, because I said, oh, JUUL shares are going to still be going up. And they corrected me and let me know it's a private company.
Yep.
But yeah, they're
based in San Francisco.
They're hurting one bit.
So they account for 72.8% of all vape related sales in the United States.
Yep.
So when I hear that, right, like I'm not some like underground vapor, like it's like somebody who listens to like underground hip hop and they're like, man, all that other mainstream shit is bull. I only listen to this one guy who lives in Des Moines who no one's ever heard of, right? No, I'm just about getting people off of cigarettes. And so if people like JUUL and it's helping them to quit smoking, I am like all about the JUUL, right? And obviously the JUUL has done that to a degree that they are 72.8% of the whole market. So I think that we should be really rallying behind JUUL, who is a private company who believe in what they're doing and not tearing them down, which I see a lot of that in forums. I see a lot of that in comments. And come on out here. We're almost done anyways. And so I just wanted let's just rethink what's going on in this industry. The JUUL is a big part of our industry, and I think that we should do what we can to help support them. So,
I mean, the thing is, they're saying all these epidemic numbers and all this garbage. You know, a teenager is 3 times more likely to get into a car with a drunk driver than they are to be a regular JUUL user or a regular underage vapor.
Yep.
But it's an epidemic.
Yeah, so there's a recent number that the FDA used to push their agenda on why banning JUUL flavored pods is so important. And they used a statistic that we don't have public access to yet. It's the latest CDC results, the latest survey they did for teen vaping and, you know, children using vaping devices, which won't be published until like February. But the FDA said, you know, 80%, that's the number. What they didn't emphasize is how that 80% number is actually formulated. And I went back and I read their article, and it says an 80% increase. So 80% of middle and high school children have tried a vaporizer. 80%, that means that's a big number. 80% increase means it's an 80% over increase. Statistic was 11%. So you're going to take that 11%, divide it by 8 together. So we have seen not a double. It's not double the number of kids, because that would be 100%. If it's the 100% increase, then it's 11% plus 11% would equal 22% or whatever. Again, we don't use their data at exactly what that means, because that 80% could be 80% held a JUUL in their hand, have encountered a JUUL, have seen someone with a JUUL, have taken one puff off of that data from the CDC.
Yeah, I'm more interested in what percentage of youth are JUUL users on a regular day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
And I think that number is going to be so low. You know,
and another thing we have to look at, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Travis, but the thing we have to look at too is how are they surveying these kids?
Yep.
What incentive are they giving these kids to participate in this survey?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
probably giving them a JUUL.
Yeah, or they giving them these kids will do it for a Snickers and a Coke. I mean, come on. You know, if you get an organization saying to them, "Oh, well, yeah, put this down on the survey," we'll go buy a Snickers and a Coke. They're gonna freaking do it. They don't give a shit.
You know what? And there's such a thing as a testing bias, where if the kids are gonna say, because they're young and impressionable, they're gonna say whatever the tester says. They're gonna, of course, the questions, we don't even know the questions they're asking them. They're probably very leading, and kids want to say the right answer, quote unquote, right answer for whatever they're asking, right? And so if they think this adult wants me to say I've been using a JUUL, they're probably more likely to say I have been using a JUUL.
Yeah.
And so I don't trust any statistics they're going to release are going to be so heavily skewed, because they go into this pre-existingly wanting.
They want to ban it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, something you said earlier about talking to your kid. I have a 17-year-old son in high school, so he comes and tells me what he sees, and yeah, it was a really big fad back in 2015, early 2000. Everybody wanted to get their hands on a JUUL. Now he's seeing in schools that's declining. Kids aren't really wanting to get their hands on JUULs anymore, but there is a segment of the population that people carry them around and have them legit users. So it is a concern. You know, it's definitely something to be aware and concerned about. What I'm not happy with is seeing the FDA vehemently attack vaping products, which is addressing the issue that tobacco is still on the shelves, not addressing the other real epidemics that we have with children texting while driving, children consuming alcohol. Because that number, look at the last CDC result, that number is 2 times, almost 3 times higher in number of kids that have consumed alcohol versus number of kids that have consumed nicotine.
Yep.
So
and how many
we
kids
have
are getting
other trends that are far more dangerous for our children.
Yeah, like look at kids, going into mommy's medicine cabinet and pull prescription drugs out. That's still a thing. It doesn't get talked about as much as it did like 2 years ago, but it still happens.
More of a thing now than ever. And I think, you know what, when my son said everybody, because he's just a teenager and he exaggerates, when he says, oh, everybody at my school has one of those, he probably saw like 3 kids with one. And to him, he's like, oh, everybody's got one, because he's a fucking teenager and you can't trust what they say because they're serial exaggerators, you know?
And plus, the kid might want to look cool and say, "Oh yeah, well, I smoked a joint and I did a JUUL and I drank a fifth of Jack Daniels. I did all that before math class." All because Susie's going to look at him and say, "Oh man, I want to bang him. Yeah, he's a tough guy."
Were you following me around? Because that sounds like me. But anyways, I mean, it's just something for people to think about. I think that it's a much more complex issue than just JUUL, and so don't let the media pigeonhole your thinking into thinking this is a JUUL issue. This is an issue about vaping. And I think that if you care about vaping, you're going to pay close attention to this, because they're going to try to hornswoggle us by saying we're going after JUUL and we're going after Blue and whatever, right? They're coming after us. Better believe.
Exactly. And the thing is, they're also talking about the banning the menthol cigarettes. And when they did their surveys on youths and smoking menthol cigarettes, where'd they go? They went into the hood.
Here's another thing. Okay, here's something we can talk about the implied racism with banning flavored tobacco in general, right? And this is from my party, which I'm ashamed to say, right? Democrats are leading the charge when it comes to banning flavored tobacco. And I've seen videos of these guys saying, like, you know, basically saying these guys don't know what's good for them. They don't realize how dangerous these products are. And it's like, at the corner store buying a grape Swisher, they don't understand the dangers of that. It's like you are so patronizing the consumers who you have already pigeonholed as being people of color, people of low socioeconomic status, and you, like, in your mind, it's like a bunch of druggy black kids who are smoking blunts, and it's like, look, motherfucker, like, people are not ignorant. Just because you make $80,000 a year and you live in fucking Fairfield, which is a nice town where I live, near where I live, doesn't mean the kids in Oakland don't understand the risks of that and cannot make their own informed decisions about whether or not they want to take that risk. This is a fucking America, and we're supposed to be able to have the freedom to make those kind of choices. We don't need Big Brother or fucking big anything sitting over top of us saying, now, taking away our options. Like, you don't know any better because you poor idiots. You're just ignorant. You went to a shitty state school, so you can't decide whether or not you want to smoke a blunt, right? And it's both parties. Democrats lead a lot of these anti-smoking brigades, but then we have Republicans in office and Scott Gottlieb and all these other guys. These are very right-wing guys, and they're the ones who are always saying no Big Brother, right? No big government, but they're the first ones to start taking away all of our rights. And so you can't trust politicians of any sort. They're all out for the same thing, and they're all beholden to big business. And so something to sleep on. And when you go to work tomorrow, be depressed, because this is very depressing. Okay. I wanted to thank so much Kimmy for joining us. I really appreciated it. Panda she lost her Wi-Fi in the bedroom, but she wanted to say goodbye to everybody as well. Frank, as always, so beautiful to have you here, my friend. And so Kimmy, why don't you tell them where they can find you? I'm sure they already know, but why don't you go ahead and remind them anyways? I think she's on a delay from us.
Yep.
Kimmy? Uh-oh. We lost her.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not hearing us.
I don't think she's hearing us. Kimmy? Can you hear us? Oh, no.
Oh, she might come back.
Hopefully. Kimmy, let us know when you're back. That meant nothing because you can't hear us. Frank, why don't you go ahead and tell them where they can find you, my brother?
You can find me here on the YouTubes. Find me every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, mixing in the kitchen. Sometimes you find me during the week, TJ's show, Fresh's channel. Find me around there. You can find me on the Instagrams at daytime_Frank. Find me on ELR and ATF if you're looking for my recipes. You can find them there. Find me on the road sometimes, especially if you're in the Southeast.
Okay.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Okay, you're back.
Yes, I'm back now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My internet dropped.
I was like, I think we lost her.
You should have went to Starbucks.
So why don't you go ahead and tell them? I was just saying thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you having you, and we'd love to have you back sometime. But why don't you go ahead and tell them where they can find you on social media and on YouTube?
Yes, definitely. So First, I want to thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed it. You guys are awesome. I went back and watched a lot of your old live shows, and I like what you do on here. So I will definitely be a returning visitor if you'll have me. Really like the conversation and the way you do things here. I am Kimmy Vapes on YouTube. I do vape reviews. I do vape reviews, vape tutorials, and vape vlogs. And then I also have an Instagram where I post a lot of just vape related posts. A lot of advocacy is where Instagram, when you look on my Instagram, you'll find that I do a lot of advocacy there, and that's Kimmy_vapes on Instagram. And again, thank you guys so much in chat for welcoming me, and thank you so much Overdose and Panda and Frank for having me here.
Absolutely. It's been wonderful to have you here, and we will definitely harass you every week and send you invites to the show, so you can look forward to that. And since she's not here to promote her own channel, I will say you can find Panda Vapes here on YouTube. She is also on Instagram at Panda Vapes 81. Her Instagram is Panda Girl Fashion. That's the one that she's actually active on. So go check her out on that. She does. I will say this: every time I watch one of her videos, one of Panda's videos, I feel so terrible about my own editing because her editing is so fucking good. It is so amazing, and it's really good. It's really, really good. So I'm happy to have her on my team. And until next time, I love all you guys in chat. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Vaping swag, I definitely want to see some of this white girl so that we can, I want you to try it. So maybe we can figure something out and message me later. And until next time, peace out. Thanks for having us. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Now the awkward moment where I have to go to YouTube, pop the show, stop streaming.
I do it here.